Hey everyone! Welcome to the channel. Get this, we are talking about the one, the only Walt Disney World. That's right, the place where dreams come true, where you can meet Mickey Mouse, and where a churro costs like $20. But it's worth it. Every single bite. I absolutely love Disney World. It's just pure happiness. The second you walk through those gates, all your worries just poof, they disappear. It's magic. But did you know there are some seriously wild secrets behind all that pixie dust and those perfect princess waves? You think you know Disney World? You think you've seen it all? Get ready. Today, we are pulling back the curtain. We're going behind the scenes to uncover jaw-dropping facts about the most magical place on Earth. Things most guests walk right past without noticing. Secret tunnels, fake flags. You'll be like a Disney detective. A pretty cool job title, right? Before we dive in, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment and tell me your favorite Disney World memory. First time you saw the castle? Meeting your favorite character? Ate 3 Dole Whips in a row? Let me know. I can't wait to read them. All right, let's get into it. Here are the Disney World secrets you won't believe. All right, first up, let's talk about size. You know when you're at the Magic Kingdom and you think, wow, this place is big? And then you walk all the way from Space Mountain to Pirates of the Caribbean and your feet are just screaming? Well, you are not wrong. Not at all. Disney World isn't just big, it's gigantic, it's colossal, it's basically a city. The entire Walt Disney World Resort covers about 43 square miles. That's almost 27,000 acres. Let me put it this way. Think of a major American city, San Francisco. Golden Gate Bridge cable cars, Full House, the house from the show. The entire city of San Francisco could fit inside Walt Disney World. So next time you're complaining about the walk from your hotel to the bus stop, remember, you could be trekking across an entire city. It kind of puts things in perspective, doesn't it? It makes you realize the sheer scale of Walt's original vision. Okay, this next one is one of my favorites. It sounds like something out of a spy movie. You're walking down Main Street, USA, you're smelling the popcorn, you see the castle. But what you don't see is that there's a whole other world moving and shaking just a few feet beneath your feet. That's right, under the Magic Kingdom. There's a series of secret tunnels. They're called the Utiliders, which is short for utility corridors. And they are the park's central nervous system. It's how the magic happens without you ever seeing the magicians. So why do they exist? Well, it all goes back to Walt Disney himself. The story goes that one day at Disneyland in California, Walt saw a cowboy from Frontierland walking through Tomorrowland to get to his break, and it shattered the illusion for him. A cowboy in a land of spaceships? No way. He hated it. He said, "The show is ruined." So when he planned Disney World in Florida, he wanted to make sure that would never, ever happen again. The solution? Build a backstage area that's completely hidden from the guests. These utilidors allow cast members, that's what Disney calls its employees, to move between the different lands of the Magic Kingdom without ever being seen by the public. So a pirate from Adventureland won't accidentally wander into Fantasyland. The tunnels are also used for all the less than magical stuff. Things like trash removal, deliveries, costume changes, and even as a place for cast members to eat their lunch. It's a bustling underground city that keeps the fantasy alive on the surface. What's even crazier is that the tunnels aren't actually underground. Because of Florida's high water table, they couldn't dig down. So they built the utilidors on the ground level, and then built the entire Magic Kingdom on top of them, using dirt excavated from the Seven Seas Lagoon. That means when you enter the Magic Kingdom, you're actually walking on the second floor. Your mind is blown, right? I know, it's incredible. The dedication to preserving the show is just on another level. All right, here's a fun one. Have you ever been walking around Disney World and noticed something missing? Something that's usually stuck to the bottom of benches, on sidewalks, under tables at pretty much every other theme park or public place in the world? I'm talking about gum. Chewing gum. That sticky, gooey stuff. Think about it. Have you ever seen a wad of gum stuck on the pavement on Main Street? Visual cut. Or scraped it off the bottom of your shoe after getting off Space Mountain? The answer is no, and there's a very simple reason for that. Disney World does not sell chewing gum anywhere, in any of the parks, any of the hotels, any of the shops. You just can't buy it on property. Now you can bring your own gum into the park. They don't have a gum-sniffing dog at the entrance or anything like that. But by not selling it, they drastically reduce the amount of it that ends up, well, everywhere it shouldn't be. It's a simple but brilliant strategy to keep the parks looking pristine. And let's be honest, it works. Let's talk about the icon, the centerpiece. The thing you see on all the posters and in the opening of every Disney movie, Cinderella Castle. When you stand on Main Street and look at it, it's just breathtaking. It looks like a real medieval castle plucked straight out of a storybook and dropped right in the middle of Florida. You see the towering spires, the beautiful stonework, the intricate details. It looks like it's been there for centuries, built brick by royal masons. But what if I told you it wasn't made of bricks at all? That's right, the magnificent Cinderella Castle is not made of stone or brick. Not a single one. That would be incredibly heavy and honestly super impractical, especially in a state known for hurricanes. Instead, the castle is constructed from a steel frame, covered with a very strong, durable material called fiberglass reinforced gypsum plaster. It's the same kind of stuff they use to make boats and other structures that need to be both strong and lightweight. The Imagineers are masters of illusion, and this is one of their greatest tricks. They used a technique called forced perspective to make the castle look even taller and more majestic than it actually is. The elements at the bottom of the castle, like the bricks and windows, are larger. As you look up, everything gets progressively smaller. The spires at the very top are much smaller than they appear from the ground. This totally tricks your brain into thinking the castle is soaring into the sky, way taller than its actual height of 189 feet. It's a classic filmmaking technique applied to architecture, and it's absolutely brilliant. And why 189 feet specifically? That's another fascinating detail. It was built to be just under 200 feet tall. Why? Because any structure 200 feet or taller requires a flashing red aviation light on top of it, according to FAA regulations. And can you imagine a big blinking red light on top of Cinderella Castle? It would totally ruin the fantasy, right? So they intentionally kept it just below that height to preserve the magic. It's that level of detail, that commitment to the story, that makes Disney so special. Okay, Disney fans, this one is for you. This is one of the most famous and beloved traditions in all of the Disney parks. It's a little game that the Imagineers play with all of us. I'm talking about hidden Mickeys. For those who don't know, a hidden Mickey is a representation of Mickey Mouse. That classic three-circle silhouette of his head and ears, subtly inserted into designs all around the parks. You can find them on a ride on a building in a mural, or even in landscape features. And they are everywhere. I mean literally everywhere. Hundreds, maybe thousands, scattered across Walt Disney World. They can be obvious. 3 plates on a table in Haunted Mansion's ballroom. Or incredibly subtle, a wallpaper pattern, the shape of a rock formation, or a swirl in a wrought iron gate. They started as an inside joke among Imagineers while building Epcot in the late 70s and early 80s, and then it took off. Now it's a beloved tradition. Finding them is a favorite pastime. It turns a walk or a wait in line into a treasure hunt. You look closer and appreciate the Imagineers' detail. This next secret sounds completely made up. It sounds like a conspiracy theory you'd read on the internet, but I promise you, it is 100% true. Walt Disney World, in a way, has its own government. Yes, a government, with the power to have its own police force, its own fire department, and the ability to issue its own building permits and public bonds. It's a level of control that is just unheard of for a private company. It's absolutely wild when you think about it. It's all thanks to something called the Reedy Creek Improvement District, or RCID. I want you to picture Main Street, USA on top of every single building, an American flag proudly waving. And it's an illusion. Almost none of the flags on top of the buildings on Main Street are real American flags. Let's head over to one of the most iconic and beloved attractions in the Magic Kingdom, the Haunted Mansion. Now, one of its most impressive scenes, the Grand Ballroom where ghosts dance and dine, actually uses a special effect that is way older than you might think. The effect is called Pepper's Ghost. It was invented by a scientist named John Henry Pepper in 1862, and it became a sensation in theaters all across London. Have you ever noticed that Main Street USA always smells like vanilla and fresh-baked cookies, even when you're nowhere near the Main Street Bakery? It's another layer of Disney's immersive storytelling, and it's all thanks to a little device called the Smellitizer. It's a patented scent-generating machine that Disney uses to pump specific aromas into different areas of the parks and resorts. The final secret isn't really a secret, but it's one of the most important things to understand about Disney World. It's the philosophy Walt championed. The park will never be completed. Constantly changing, evolving, being updated. And that's a wrap. How amazing were those secrets? It's not just a theme park. It's a masterpiece of design and storytelling. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today and diving into all this Disney magic. If you had fun too, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. It really helps out the channel.